Right then. Hump day. For some of us. This guy, definitely. Yeah. Scratch is coming up to the lake house to hang out tonight. Make a nice dinner. Maybe go out on the lake and make a couple of trolling passes. Catch some crappies. And then sit and watch some archaeological videos on YouTube that pertain to biblical discoveries that have been made throughout the years that definitively proves that the Bible's real, God is real. Yeah, everything that's in the Bible is true. You know. She's got questions. I don't know what they are. And she's curious, and she likes history, and she likes documentaries. She also watches a lot of mindless drivel. Yeah. Drama series like Yellowstone and crap like that. But as long as she does that in her own space and on her own time, I can't really. Who am I to be that much of a dictator, right? Thou shalt not watch mindless drivel. That's sometimes how relationships go. If you're comfortable with each other, in each other's space, one person is off in one room doing their thing, the other person's off in another room doing their thing, and time goes by, but you're together. I know some people that are stuck to each other's hip like Velcro every waking minute that they're together, even though they literally can't stand each other. Straight up lunacy. But anyway, I digress. So what's new? When I got home last night from work, which was relatively normal time, I would have had a perfect day. And by that I mean I had 6 calls. All 6 would have been first time completes or first completes. First time complete is when I go there for the first time, I solve the problem, I fix the issue, and I walk away. And I never have to go back. A first complete is when I go there for the first time, I diagnose it, it needs a part, I order the part, I go back, I put it on, it solves the problem, I never have to go back. Both of those situations, I get a monetary bonus for, like an extra $1.50 or something every time that happens. So, yesterday, I was heading to the 6th call of the night. I got there, and I'm rooting for a perfect day of first completes and first time completes, and it didn't happen. LG washing machine, top loader, needed a drain pump. Drain pump wouldn't come on. It had voltage going to it. There was nothing I could do. Yep. So, ugh. Today's a new day. It's hump day for this guy. And I've got 2 calls. First one's north of me here, up in the town where the diva succubus mongoose's evil witch of the north mother lives. And then the second one is down south where Mia works. Rebuilding a Samsung refrigerator. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't had to do a sealed system job on a Samsung. I haven't had to work on a Samsung in quite a while. 2 days ago was the first time I've actually worked on one, and that was for the notorious, infamous ice maker frosting up issue that those brands of refrigerators have. Yep. But now I'm going to put a compressor in a Samsung. It was diagnosed by Daniel Boone. Now, I like that guy, but we get along. But he doesn't know jack about refrigeration. He doesn't know. I don't know. So I'm going to re-diagnose the situation. Yep. Start from scratch. It could be something as simple as this compressor has a starter on it, a start relay device, and the starter has failed and it won't start the compressor. Yep. Oh, here come my deer. I'm sitting in my spot. There's a little patch of woods here to the left of me. That's where they sleep at night. That's their little spot. That spot is for sale. Commercial. But that's where they hunker down for the night, is in that little 100 by 100 square or 100 by 100 square yard little chunk of woods. Yeah. So yeah. Mama and her fawn. They're on the grass eating clover. So anyway, I'm going to re-diagnose the situation, and it could be that the starter's burned up, and I throw another starter in there, and away it goes. No need for a compressor job. Last night when I got home, I decided, all right, I'm going to do something productive. They're following the same routine. So the last few times I've seen them, there's 3 of them, they come out of this patch of woods, they go across the road in that identical trail. Now they're underneath this great big pine tree in there. They'll play around. Yep, here they go. They'll play around in there for a little bit. And now they're going to come kitty corner towards the stop sign. And they're going to go into the woods over here. And they're going to walk the trail parallel to me. Parallel to the van. And head towards the store. Yep, so that one should tuck into the woods soon. Right to the right of me. She's looking at me. She hears the van going. And the other 2 are sitting underneath that big gnarly jack pine over there. But they'll come walking out here soon as well. Predictable. Anyway, so when I got home, I'm like, you know what? I am not making dinner and then sitting in the chair and passing out. I'm going to get something done. So those belts came in for my mower tractor, right? My little snapper. I like a little snapper. Anyway, yeah. So I thought, let's tackle that. So I go out there. I cut the old belt off. There wasn't much left to it, so I cut it with a razor knife, and that was done. But putting the new belt on turned into a nightmare. In order to get the belt around the pulley on the motor, I actually had to loosen up the bolts that mount the engine to the frame of the tractor and push the motor back about an inch just so I could wrap the belt around the pulley. There wasn't enough space between the transmission on the rear axle and the pulley plate on the engine to squeeze the belt through there. So I had to back off all 4 bolts that hold the engine to the frame, push it back about an inch, and then I could push the belt past the transmission and wrap it around the pulley, retighten all the bolts, and then snake the belt the rest of the way on the mower deck. This belt, I tell you what, I'm continuing to do business with these guys more than likely for whatever belt I need. The site is called thevbeltguys.com. These belts, I bought 2 of them. Everybody online was wanting around $20, $25 a belt. These guys, $10. And I thought, okay, $10, they're not going to be the greatest belts. Heavy duty, double V belt. By that I mean there's a V shape on both sides. If you were to cut it and look at it from the end, it would look like a diamond. That's what this mower deck and system takes. The previous belt that was on it was the wrong belt. Somebody had just gone to Fleet Farm or a farm store and got a belt that was long enough and put it on there. As a result, it shredded itself. It was real thin as far as density of the belt, and the mower deck would just vibrate really bad when that was spinning. I put this new belt on, the correct one, the correct shape, and engaged the deck, and it just purred like a kitten. I was like, yeah, no slipping, no chatter, no squeal, no vibration shaking the whole tractor. It was amazing, not gonna lie. So I cut some grass. Slowly but surely, I will restore this thing and get it back to its former glory. The next challenge I gotta do is I gotta rebuild the carburetor. Carburetor's all monkeyed up. Doesn't want to run right. It's running rich. It's stumbling. It's choking itself off. That's fun. And yeah, it needs a carb rebuild and a carb clean. Needs an oil change. Needs some more of my super oil additive added to it. The engine's rattling more than I would like. Yeah. But yeah. Could probably use a new friction drive disc. That's the component that makes the tractor roll, drive. I'm not going to describe how it works. But needs a few little things to tweak it, tune it up, bring it back to life, and then it's going to be straight up awesome. So I did that. Then I went in the house and I fired up the Roomba robotic vacuum. Now, I still haven't putzed around with the app on the phone to do this from my phone. So I just have to manually go over and push the clean button. Well, then it launches itself off its charging dock and it systematically goes around the room and does its thing. It's kind of interesting to watch. Yeah. It doesn't do anything in a pattern. It just randomly wanders around the room. It'll be going diagonally one way, it'll bump into something, and it'll change direction, and it'll go this way and bump into something. And it runs on a full charge battery for about 2 hours, if not a little more. And with that method of just random wandering, somehow it systematically covers the whole entire room. So I used the thing on the second floor of the house. Can't believe this house has 3 floors. And I let it run for a full battery charge. And damn if it didn't have that floor pretty clean. Now, it can't reach into the corners and totally reach underneath things and stuff. I think it's just designed, you do your initial vacuum of every square inch of the room, corners, underneath stuff, and then this thing is just designed to keep the main traffic areas and the central part of the room clean as a maintenance thing. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Now, that little whisker brush that spins on the side. You ever see those street sweeper machines that go up and down the city streets? And they got those brooms off on the sides that stick out on either side of the vehicle, and they're spinning and they're sweeping the stuff out of the curbs. This thing has one of those. Yeah, and I talked about it. And I thought I fixed it because I reattached the little sweeper broom with the screw. I found the screw. It was in the bin. The vacuum had actually swept it into the bin. I reattached it with Loctite, which is a thread locking compound to keep screws and bolts from backing out on their own, whether it's due to vibration or whatever. And I let that dry and cure. It's like a miniature glue. And I fired up the robot and let it do its thing, and it was working great. And then it got into a corner where there was an obstruction and a pinch point, and it somehow undid the little sweeper broom. So I found the sweeper broom laying on the floor. Now I can't find the screw. Nowhere to be found. It's not in the bin. It's not on the floor. Of course, I didn't launch into a big expedition trying to find it. If it wasn't just obvious there in front of my face, I just gave up, you know. But anyway, so now I gotta rethink this. So I think I'm gonna glue the sweeper broom to the wheel, the motorized wheel that drives it, and but I'm gonna glue it with silicone, which is pretty strong in and of itself. And then when the sweeper broom wears out, I can peel the old one off of there and scrape off the silicone and then re-glue another one in its place. That's about all I can do. Yeah. So that's what we'll do to get it working again. Yeah. So what else? Other than that, not much new to report. Have not heard a peep from Mia. You know, I expected that. She doesn't chase. No. But when I was driving into work this morning, oh yeah, driving home last night, my drive to and from work is so hazardous. It's bad. So the sun was setting, and I'm driving into the sun. The shoulder on my right side, the ditch and the woods line, due to the angle of the sun, I couldn't see anything. It was black. It was a mega blind spot. So if there would have been one of those deer standing in the ditch, ready to run out in front of the Jeep, I'd have never seen it. Couldn't even see it. It was like turning a light off in your bedroom and can't see nothing on that right shoulder. The left side I could see because the position of the sun was lighting up that left ditch line, but the shadowing and the shade on the right side. So for the majority of the drive home, I was going 40, 45 miles an hour. And then you had the glare on the windshield to boot. And I had the visor down and I was wearing sunglasses. I was doing everything I could do. Could not see that right ditch line at all. And a deer comes running out of that ditch line. I'd never see it. As a matter of fact, it was so bad, the shading was so bad and the blind spot was so bad that I drove past my road. I got a big bank of mailboxes out at the edge of the road for all the people that live in my little neighborhood in there. Never saw it. And all of a sudden, oh, there's mailboxes. Oh, there's the road. Oh, shit. Stop. Back up about 50 yards. Blew right by my road. Because I could literally, it was black. Couldn't see it. That's a huge hazard. Wow. And there's no workaround. There's no other route that I can take because there's a big flowage there. Lake Alice is a big flowage. And there's no way to cross it to come in traveling north and south. It was horrible. Anyway, Mia, not a peep. She doesn't chase. She's probably slipping into a depression again. She's probably going to sit in her little house that she cherishes so much now. But a few months ago, I was told, it's just a house. I don't care. Yeah. A home is a house is just a house. A home is who you live with, and that's what makes a home. And now all of a sudden she's a bitter clinger and wants to cling to this 500 square foot rickety bungalow that she owns. But anyway, yeah, she doesn't chase. So she's probably going to slip into a depression. Her family's going to notice. They're going to start to get concerned. They're going to start to ask questions. She's not going to tell them what's going on because she doesn't air her dirty laundry relationship stuff with anybody, including the Amish Mafia. They don't even know she's in a relationship with me. They don't know she has a guy. So Scrunch and one of Scrunch's friends were speculating that maybe she's got the hots for one of the Amish guys. I don't think so. For the most part, at least what I'm told, I don't have any factual evidence, but for what I'm told, the people that she hangs around with, the family that she hangs around with, all of the younger 30, 40-something-year-old men are already hitched up, and have families. The ones that are available are the 18-year-olds, the 16-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, She's not a cougar. And now that she doesn't have a sex drive, she has no reason to want somebody that's 20 years old and can go all night long. So I don't buy that theory. But yeah. So I haven't heard a word, and that's to be expected. She's used to men chasing her. And I'm not going to chase. No. I've weighed the pros and cons, right? I've done that forever. Ever since I met Scrunch. And I've met others. And I've been with them for a period of time. I always weigh the pros and cons in being with that person. Yeah, so. Anyway. So I had a half a thought to grab her stuff from the lake house this morning, and since I'm down in her neck of the woods for this last refrigerator job, actually go to her house and drop it off. I'm going to pontificate on that because that would be a good way to get that stuff out of my house. It's already still all packed up. Yeah, never did anything with it. I packed it up during the last time when she ran away, and it's been sitting in a pile waiting to get back to her. So, yeah. All right, well, I suppose I should get this day going. It'd be kind of nice to get an early day so I can get some stuff done at the lake house. I keep forgetting that we got a 3-day weekend coming up because of the holiday. And so Scrunch and I were talking about that last night. She asked what my plan was. And I said, well, I want to go down to the turd and work on the turd Saturday and Sunday. And then we'll take Monday as a play day. And we'll go do something fun, whether it's fishing, mushroom hunting, whatever. Yeah. Maybe we can do both. There's some public areas close by to my house. Nature areas and stuff like that with hiking trails and things. I want to check them out. That'd be a good spot for mushroom hunting and whatnot. So, and she's obsessed with it, so that's cool. And the weather is nice and cool. The bugs seem to be lessening in intensity. So I haven't had a fun day or an R&R day in quite a while, so it's been work, you know, whether it's the job here, eat, sleep, work pertaining to this, or on the weekends, let's bust ass on the mission and be productive, you know. So that being what it is, yeah. So when I go down to the turd, I've got to start on the next big phase of the project, which is creating new countertops. Yeah. That's the big one. So I might go to Menards one of these nights here and pull the trigger on some countertop material so that I can start that that big deal. I'm gonna go with butcher block, and I'm gonna stain it the dark mahogany that I'm doing all the other, like the beams and stuff in there, and then I'm gonna coat it with 2-part epoxy bar top resin. Yep. That, I've done that before. That is an intense process. Wait till you see the video on that. It's not fun. Nope. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And that'll be pretty cool. Trust me. That'll be pretty cool. So, all right, that's all I got. We're gonna go to this first call up north, and then we will wander our way down south. So talk to you soon.